Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Death by Podcast 2022, brand new year, episode 36. This is your horror movie podcast where we watch a vintage, preferably VHS available movie and talk about it that we picked out of the alphabet. There's a better way to say all of that stuff, and I always screw it up. You know, anyway.
Yeah, we should do a count.
I need to streamline it. That's what 2022 is about, streamlining. I'm your host, Adam. That's your other host,
Kevin.
Was that okay? I don't know what you just did there.
I have a piece of popcorn in the back.
Oh, okay, because it looked like you were like taking a minute intentionally. I was like, all right, that's cool. We are back. We had a few-week hiatus. I was out of town. Kevin was doing some stuff. And now we're back. So today's show brought to you by, I don't know. I wish we had somebody there. If you want to sponsor the show, reach out.
Yeah.
But today we're talking about 1972's Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things zombie movie. One of my favorites. They already know that. But before we do that, Kevin has a special wish that he wants to send out to a special someone in his life. Kevin, take it away.
Oh, it's Rob Zombie's birthday. Happy birthday, Rob Zombie.
Happy birthday, Rob Zombie. Happy birthday, Rob Zombie. We know that it's not your real name, so what is it? What's his real name?
I feel like I heard what it was once, but I don't know.
Like Rob.
Please don't mess up the Monsters movie.
Yeah,
you're making.
Dude, it's gonna be gross.
I think it'll be fine.
I can't believe 3 weeks off. There's no Monster news.
They moved sets. They changed sets.
Come on,
or not sets, but they changed lots.
They didn't release any image. Nothing cool. Like what?
Not really. They released a picture of stagehand moving the chairs across the lot. And then
have they shown anything about Eddie Munster?
No.
Who's cast or anything like that? Nothing.
Not that I know of.
That's going to be weird. That's probably going to be the weirdest part of the whole thing.
I think Grandpa's going to be the weirdest for you.
Yeah, they showed him though. I know what he looks like. Like,
yeah, but you know what? I think a lot of
mustache is weird.
Is the voice? Is all the voices? Like when they recast Kirk in the Star Trek remake, I was like, "Fuck this guy! I don't want
Chris Pine." You talking about Chris Pine?
Yeah, initially because I didn't know who he was, and then when I heard his voice, I was like, "All right, I'm in. I like this guy a lot."
Yeah.
Like, so I think these actors sound, I think, is going to be a big thing.
But still, you got to keep in mind this is going to be a gross horror, weird funhouse version of.
I don't know. I wonder what it's going to be like. Even if it's like, is it going to be like the Brady Bunch?
No, it's going to be like, dude, and Lily Munster was one of my crushes, and Sherry Moon Zombie is annoying as fuck, and all I'm going to see is her and like screaming and doing something stupid and saying
crazy.
Something weird. I don't know. Canceling you, Rob Zombie, on your birthday. What else? No news is good news. Next.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Bob Saget. I wanted to say that.
Yeah, rest in peace, Bob Saget. Yeah, that's a bummer, man.
Yeah, it is a bummer. Did they ever officially say what happened?
Nope.
Huh. Last I heard, it was no signs of foul play or like
no
drugs or anything.
No drugs or
But I don't know.
No,
I don't know. I hate to. Whatever. He was young.
Yeah, he was 65.
And he was doing stuff. He was still doing stuff.
I mean, he was on tour. He died in Orlando.
Oh, what a shitty place to die.
Yeah. I feel like he'd have thought that was funny.
Yeah. I forget who I saw. Somebody, I don't do Twitter. I mean, I know we have a Twitter, but somebody tweeted something. It was in the news, and it was one of his friends. And they were like, Bob would have wanted me to say something really inappropriate right now, but I just can't do it. And I was like, damn. So maybe we should. I don't know.
One of my favorite comedians was making jokes about it the night of.
Who was it?
Ari Shaffir. But
okay.
He didn't have a whole ton He just went up and was like, yeah, Bob. And like a bunch of the audience members hadn't heard yet. He's like, yeah, well, and just made jokes.
Jeez. If you haven't heard that news yet, that might be a little too soon. What else?
I was at a comedy show when I heard Tom Hanks had COVID. That was a thing. It was like, wait, what? Tom Hanks has COVID? And that was like the community came out, but guys, Tom Hanks has COVID. It was wild.
But he didn't die.
Yeah, I know, but at the time, that was when everybody was like, nobody knew what COVID was. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
People got COVID, and you were like, "Are you okay? Is everything okay?" Like, now people get COVID, and I make fun of them.
Jeez, I haven't gotten it yet, and my brother and I think everybody will eventually get it. I guess that'll happen, but whatever. This isn't the COVID show.
Yeah, I heard it's fake.
I tell you what, though, it's fake.
It turns out everybody's been like just like in on it, and like we don't,
I just got back from the 2 weeks in the South, man, and it's a different world down there. It is a different fucking world, and I don't know, like talk about horror. It's a horror movie down there. Like it really is. It's bizarre. The mentality. I don't get it. I don't know. And I lived there for 20 too many years. How many? It's just ridiculous. You had something. What'd you watch?
Oh yeah. Did you watch anything over the break that,
I swear I'm trying to think, aside from my dad and I, we all watched Mandalorian season 2 again. Or I did. He hadn't seen it. We do Star Wars. Other than that, it was all Christmas movies. The only horror thing was watching like Trading Places with my family, and there's a nude scene, and that was uncomfortable because my mom was there.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah, I didn't do a whole ton of horror. I feel like over the break, I did do all 4 Lethal Weapons.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, which they're all good in their own like way.
Are they? What's the flamethrower one? It opens up with this really too long flamethrower scene.
Oh, that's 4.
That's 4. Okay.
Yeah, 4 is the one where like all of a sudden they're fighting. Like it opens up and there's a guy in like a mech suit. No, he's not a mech suit, but it's a big metal suit, and he's just lighting shit on fire. Like,
just the dialogue in that scene. I was like, it's so canned by that point.
4 is a different kind of movie. I mean, they're all fine, but yeah, you watch that first one and it's like, man, first one's raw.
Is it? Yeah, good. I'd like to watch that again because that was an 80s movie. 87 maybe.
First one's 87, second one's 89.
Is it really? They squeezed 2 in?
Yep. Third one's 92, and then the fourth one's 98.
I'll have to watch 1 and 2 again. Is 2 worth watching?
Yeah, 2 is really good. 2 is really good. Yeah, and they're like 80s movies that have like they're not afraid to be rated R. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like Roadhouse. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like movies like that. They're like, we want to make it. We got to make it rated R. So let's just make it, like before they started nerfing R-rated movies.
Nerfing. I just learned what that is, folks.
Yeah.
Kevin, I mean, I've been hearing that and saying that. And just for everybody that doesn't know, Kevin is the one that invented the phrase nerfing to dumb things down. To take the teeth
out of it, man. Yeah. Like to make it like take a thing like that's awesome. Like, Roadhouse. Well, they didn't really do it with Roadhouse, but if they like with Die Hard, where let's start making them PG-13 because more people can see it then.
Yeah.
And he's not going to swear. He's not going to really kill anybody, or we're going to take the blood out. We're going to, we're going to make it fucking lame.
I watched Die Hard over the break. It's a Christmas movie. Yeah, it's a Christmas movie. What do you want?
Yeah, I've been wanting to, Lethal Weapon 1's a Christmas movie.
Is it? But it takes place in California, right?
Yeah.
They don't have Christmas in California, so I don't really.
So does Die Hard.
Yeah, but Die Hard is in a building. It's not all sunny. It's in a building. It's in a building.
I was unaware.
You can't tell that it's like sunshiny and hot. It's in a building at night. It could be anywhere. And there's
a weapon. They're in plenty of buildings. They're in police
Christmas
stations.
Decorations.
They're in warehouses.
But there's daylight, and you can see that it's like palm trees and shit that isn't Christmas. I don't know. It's weird. What are you defending California for?
But yeah, Die Hard is I actually almost watched Die Hard only because I just found out my wife has never seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's seen 3,
What?
which
She's
was
seen
it was my first one too.
Die Hard 3 is a good movie, man.
I saw Die Hard 3 in theaters before I had seen Die Hard 1.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. But
great opening.
I want to say Die Hard 3 was I think it was originally written as Lethal Weapon, or like a Lethal Weapon sequel.
Really?
But I could be wrong. Yeah. But I thought there was something like that.
Yeah. Well, is that what you wanted to talk about? What'd you watch?
I didn't know where you stood on the Lethal Weapon movies.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I know it's been literally decade. It's probably been 15 years, 20 years since I've seen any of them. The fourth one, like I said, was on TV, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and I caught that opening scene.
Fourth thing, it's a bad rap. It's probably the worst of the 4, but Jet Li's the bad guy.
I remember at the beginning when that came out, Jet Li was at the peak of his game, and it was like, holy shit, Jet Li is going to be in a Lethal Weapon movie. And I think it was his first American movie.
It's his first American movie. It's the first one where he plays a villain too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a cool scene when he like somehow takes the gun in one swoop and it takes it apart.
Yeah. They're in a Mexican standoff where Murtaugh and Riggs both have their guns pointed at him. And he does this move where he kicks Murtaugh in the face and then he takes apart Riggs's gun.
Right.
Like he takes the top and it's badass. And then what's cool about it is like later in the movie, he's like, how the fuck did he do that? Like it's like they reference, it's not just a cool move. Like Riggs is like, how the fuck did he take apart my gun? Right. Like it's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. They're a solid movie. I strongly recommend, especially you watch the first 2.
Yeah, I will. Because I forgot that they were 80s movies. I'll definitely do that. I only consume 80s stuff, material. Yeah. On my way, I 15-hour drive one way to North Carolina where my family is, and then back another 15. I have a playlist of 80s songs that lasts more than that amount of time. And man, it saved my life. It was like, if I hadn't been screaming 80s music, like lyrics, I definitely would have fallen asleep and crashed. Definitely. So thank you, 80s. What else we got before we get into the movie? Anything?
No, man, there's not a whole lot of news. I think I mentioned before, John Watts he's going to produce a new Final Destination movie for HBO.
Okay.
But I mean, that's fine. Those movies, you know what's weird about those movies is like, they shouldn't, like other, like, okay, like it makes sense that like like Nightmare on Elm Street movies go down in quality because it's like, okay, we have this idea and we kind of have to stretch it out. You know what I mean? Like, what else can you do? Eventually, they have to run out of ideas. With Final Destination, you can't ever run out of ideas. Like, every one of those should be good, and then they're not all good. The second one is like offensively bad.
I've actually never seen one. I've never seen one.
Really?
Yeah.
They're super stupid, but they're fun. I hate the second one, but I don't like the fourth and fifth one. I was like, I'm all right with this.
Yeah. Speaking of, is it only the first one that has Devon Sawa?
Yeah. Okay. He's only in the first one.
So that reminds me that, and I watched an episode of it to try to catch up, but I had totally forgotten about Chucky.
Oh yeah, I meant to.
Yeah, and I put one on the other night because I've been in Christmas mode. When I get into Christmas mode, nothing gets in the way of that. Nothing shakes that. It's Christmas stuff all the time. But when I got home and it was like, January 3rd, 4th, something like that, I was like, I'm going to put a Chucky on. And I watched one of the newer episodes and it's such a great show, man. I can't wait. We need to do a whole show just dedicated to that series.
Yeah. I'll have to watch season 1 and because I think I downloaded it, but I downloaded all the TBS one. I didn't realize that there were 2 different versions of it.
Yeah. I think it's the TBS one that's good. The USA one, I think,
I think Sci-Fi is the good one.
Oh, Sci-Fi. Sci-Fi is the good one. That's right. The unedited. It airs simultaneously on TBS or USA or whatever, and it's edited. for content and language and stuff. But anyway, in the episode that I watched, so they've already Tiffany, what's her name? Jennifer Tilly. She's in it.
Mm-hmm.
She's made her comeback, and the chick from she's running around with the chick from the last two movies in the wheelchair, and they're pretty good pair. It's pretty cool. And and then they just brought back, what's the kid's name?
Andy.
So it's the adult Andy that played him in the later movies, but it's the babysitter from the first movie or second movie, second, the blonde chick. Is she also in the first?
He's got a babysitter in the second one. In the third one, he's like a teenager at like a military school.
Right. So the babysitter from the second movie, it's the same actress.
Really?
Yeah.
Second one is fucking good, man.
It is.
Like,
it really is.
The first three are really good.
The third one is the military thing.
Yeah.
That lost me.
The fourth one lost me when I don't know, it started being a comedy. Like the fourth one,
what's
they
the
still
fourth
have
one?
The fourth one's Bride of Chucky.
Yeah, that's when they started getting.
The
first two are straight up like horror, terrifying horror movies. Yeah,
yeah. I even like the third one. I haven't seen it in a while, but
yeah,
I'd be interested to.
Yeah, look forward to that. We should do that. The series is done, at least season 1. So we should do we should make it a point to finish that and do a Chucky episode for the fans. Fans of the show.
Yeah, sure.
All right, should we get into the movie? You got anything else?
Nope.
We got a listener question as well.
Let's do it
at the end of the show.
Oh, at the end. Yeah, let's do it at the end.
All right. 1972. Let's go back to 1972, Kevin. You go back with me. Yeah. Benjamin Clark, an up and coming director who decides to, I'm going to do I like this dude. This is only 3-4 years after George Romero's Night of the Living Dead. And he's like, I want to do a zombie flick. And he makes this Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things movie, and nobody watched it. And then maybe like 10 years later, 15 maybe, somewhere in there, I'm watching Svengoolie one afternoon, and I see this movie, and I'm like, what is this? This is terrifying. And it's stuck with me ever since. And I forgot the name of it. So for like 25, 30 years, I was looking for this movie, and I was reaching out to all these people on Instagram for years, like, hey, you're these horror accounts and stuff describing this movie. Nobody. And then I'm rewatching Fright Night, right? One of the best horror movies ever. And what is Charlie Brewster watching on his TV but the movie that I'm looking for? And it's Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. And I Googled that. What is Charlie Brewster watching in Fright Night? And that's how I found this movie. So
the journey.
So it was a journey. Just like the band. So before we go into it, what are you hated it? How bad did you hate it?
I hated it.
Did you really?
Yeah. It was a
son of a bitch.
It was something else, man.
Wow, that's so bizarre.
I didn't hate everything about it, but like by the time anything I liked came in, it was too late. Like
really?
Like the first zombie. I checked the time because I was like, the movie's an hour and 22 minutes.
Yeah,
and the first zombie shows up at an hour and 1 minute, and I was just like,
yeah.
And then the zombies, I thought they looked great. I thought they were shot really well. I thought everything with the zombies was solid, was good. But by the time they got to it, I was just like, I hate everyone. I hate every character in the movie. I hate.
Oh, it's so interesting.
There was so much that I was just like, what are we doing and why are we doing it? Like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? Like, it was just like
this movie. I understand. Like when when you sell someone a zombie movie and then you don't get zombies till basically the end of the movie. I get it. Maybe I hyped it too much, but the movie is, I think the reason for me, this is one of those movies that I have to watch during Halloween. Like I have to watch it because it's got a Halloween tone.
Oh yeah. It's spooky decorations, the movie. Like it's, there's bats and graves and there's like
the sound design in this movie right from the get-go. The opening scene is like a dude wearing a Halloween costume who you don't know if it's supposed to be a real ghoul or what,
and they're being serious. Like that's what when I first threw it on, I was like, oh, they're like, because like all that stuff like triggers in your head, like Halloween, like bats and like I don't know, like vampire, like Halloween decorations that you put on your window, and but it's not actually scary. It's just that whatever. And it's like, oh, this movie's like, no, these things are scary. And we're going to like take this dead seriously.
I totally get it. I totally get that perspective of it. But even for me, man, watching it this week, it sets a suspenseful tone from the get-go that there's something that it just gives me the chills and I can't shake it. I think it's that like the cast in this movie, the children, quote unquote, they do everything. They're so disrespectful, and that's why they end up killed. Yeah. And they do everything that I am always like, dude, don't do that. Like when our drink and draw was going to do something in a cemetery, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? A bunch of you morons are going to go into a cemetery and tell me that you're not going to be disrespectful in some way. Like I don't mess with that stuff, Sure. And this movie, by the end of it, arguably sets up a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. The last little,
because they get on a boat and they head to Miami. And it's
they go get on a boat. And I was like my note is like, they got on a boat. Like they go and like find a boat.
Well, at least they don't go as far as to show like, everybody on, all right, and you got a captain.
They basically, they don't see them lift anchor or anything, but they do like just all like go.
I mean,
but like, hang on, maybe you can answer this
Go for it.
question for me. What do they do? Okay, like at first I'm watching, I'm like, okay, oh, they're a film crew, okay, and then I realized like when I was thinking about it later, I was like, oh, they're not because then I was like, where the fuck is their equipment? And then I was like, oh, they're not a film crew, they're a theater troupe, like they're. Okay, that makes sense. But then I was like, why are they doing anything? Like, what does this have to do with their play? Like, what are they doing?
So the lead dude, I forget his name. I wrote it down.
Alan is the
wizard.
Name.
Alan the wizard. Yeah.
He's like the director.
He's the director of I think they're because they don't have cameras, so they're not filming anything.
Right.
But I get the feeling like more that they're doing almost like research for some play that they're going to go back to the mainland and perform.
Right.
I guess. And so they're out here. It takes place, which I didn't realize until this viewing of it. It takes place on some weirdly deserted island in Miami, right off the city. Alan the Wizard, 2 days ahead, he explains, and the two guys who are playing the ghouls, they go ahead and set the scene. They kidnap the caretaker, which is weird, and of the island. And there's a cemetery, and they sort of set it up with some pranks almost.
They do a lot of work to just basically to scare somebody. You know what I mean? Like to jump out and scare somebody.
Well, yeah, and to set the mood. This dude, Alan the Wizard, is like
he's awful.
He's extra, and he's like, but he's committed to whatever this project is.
His performance. I mean, I know people probably he acts like how a 10-year-old, like a 6-year-old would act like, like he's a snob, but like he acts like someone doing an impression of a snobby person where, you know what I mean? Like, it's such a, like, I can't imagine maybe people are like that, but
I thought about that watching it. I was like,
is anybody actually talk like that?
Like, who is this based on? I've met people like this. And I didn't, it's like I stored it in the back of my brain. I didn't realize, oh yeah, this dude's just like that person. And it's usually somebody who's like, the people I'm thinking about aren't in theater. They're not actors. They're just dramatic people for the sake of being dramatic for whatever reason. And this dude was more like, I don't think within for the character, I don't think it was an act. I think he really was this melodramatic douchebag.
Yeah.
And I love the girl who's like his foil, you know?
Yeah.
But she's committed.
The girl. Yeah.
She's always calling him out, but she's also committed to this thing. The group of characters, like, you know, he talks about the one dude being this wannabe Marlon Brando, and then there's the hot chick that he's with, and she's just this like kowtowing tool. And then you got that psycho chick with the eyes, and then the stagehand, basically the bigger dude.
Yeah, the pink shirt. I referred to everybody like pink shirt, green shirt. I mean, that's, you know.
And then the two stagehands, the ghouls, you know.
Yeah.
Before we go too far into that, so it's directed by Bob Clark, the guy who directed Christmas Story, which when you look at his movies, it's so strange, man. Until recently, I'd never really looked at what he did before Christmas Story or after or whatever. But he did Black Christmas, which is, you know, a huge horror staple. Porky's and Porky's 2.
I grew up on those. I always liked
Porky's Revenge. So he did 3 Porky's movies.
I always liked the first 2. I don't think I've ever made it through the third one, but I've seen all 3.
Yeah, I mean, they're, at least the first couple were solid. The movies that I want to see of his that I haven't seen are Rhinestone with Sylvester Stallone and Dolly Parton, 1984. There's also one with what is the dude's name? I always forget his name. John Bender from Breakfast Club. What's his name?
Oh my God. Holy shit.
Yeah. Right. So he did a movie with him called From the Hip from 1987. Judd Nelson, you
fucker. Yeah. It was right there. It was right there.
I could see it formulating. Shit. And then there's a 1990 Loose Cannons with Dan Aykroyd and fucking Lex Luthor. What's his name? Gene Hackman. So there's 3 movies in there that I haven't seen. They look like comedy-ish light movies. It's just such a weird resume for a guy who I only thought did
Christmas
Story. And then I look at this movie, and this movie is like a grizzled, you know, like it or not, it's like a grizzled student film, zombie student film, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
it is very much a student film. In fact, I didn't do the research on him, but I wonder if he was like a film student at the time and this was his movie, you know? I wouldn't be surprised.
It's not. He got a deal to do 2 movies at the same time.
What do you know that I don't know?
According to IMDb, but I mean, but this cost him, they said it estimated like $70,000. I assume that was all in the makeup, you know?
Yeah, that's a lot of money, man. There's nothing in this movie.
No, but the zombies do look good.
They do.
I mean,
it's like this weird
and they had to build all those graves. Like they didn't really shoot in a cemetery,
right?
You know, but a lot of the graves were styrofoam, you know.
Okay.
It was, I mean, I think what I found most frustrating about it was just like, anytime I was like, okay, cool, we're getting going now. We just weren't. Like, there was all this shit where it was just like, and the other thing was just how everybody kind of acted with they go out there and they dig up a dead body. And like everybody, like this group of friends as well, or performers, wherever they are, they're like, I don't know about that. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah. Orville.
And then, and he's like, no, we're going to do it. And they're like, well, okay. And then they do it. And then they like they keep doing things. And then I mean, not to jump too far ahead, but like the thing that just sets everybody off and turns him against Alan, the wizard, is like, he's just talking shit. Like, he basically digs up so they dig up this body. They stand it up, like up against this grave. They like make whatever. Then he's like, I'm going to bring it back to our cabin. And nobody really has a problem with it. And one girl's like, I don't think we should do that. And then one girl's really into it for some reason. These guys pick up this body. They bring it back to the cabin. And they put it on the couch. They had this weird, like, marriage ceremony, that scene, I was like, I can't do that. Like that, the marriage scene with the corpse was, I'm like, okay, what are they doing? And then he starts just talking some shit, being like, I'm going to take him home and I'm going to feed him to my dog. And then one of the girls is like, that's it. That's too far. like you're talking shit about this dead guy. Get out of here. And then all five of them are like, they're all like done with this guy. It's like, that was it. That was what did it. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, I think, I mean, I totally understand what you're saying. The movie itself is like extremely simple. There's not a lot to it, but in the title, Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, the movie is basically about, I mean, the title is the movie, and it's like, what happens when you do fuck with things that you shouldn't, go too far. And it, a simple cautionary tale. And the whole crux of the movie is based on drama. It's a drama company or troupe being extremely dramatic. In every character is doing that in some way. And, they go and they do this basically like a seance where they try to summon the dead, all in an effort to just be dramatic. Not reason. Not one of them thinks that it's actually going to happen, but it does. And it's like, oh, you shouldn't play with that shit. You shouldn't fuck around with that stuff. And I think that's why I like it so much. Aside from the aesthetic of the movie, I love the sound design. I love the spookiness. It's spooky throughout. And even watching it now, there's an element of suspense, because they do keep you waiting for these zombies that show up. They do.
That's what I think I found frustrating. By like the fourth or fifth, like, nope, not yet. Yeah. I was just like, are we ever going to get to these? And like, even like, and then like the first time, like they dig up this body and they go into their thing, and it turns out to be the two gay characters that were already there waiting, like, for him.
The stagehands.
Yeah. And it was like, okay. Like, I'm thinking that whole scene where like they wake up for the scare and they're jumping around on people. I'm like, okay, now would be a good time for the real zombies to come, but like they don't. You know what I mean? Like the
payoff is so. For me,
it isn't like the payoff. I was like, that was the other thing. I'm watching like when the zombies finally come, it was awesome. When they were coming out of the ground, it looked awesome. Yeah. The makeup was awesome. These were quality zombies. I will give the movie that. But like,
for the time,
it was too. I think honestly, like, I've never loved how the zombies look in Dawn of the Dead, in the Romero one. Like just the blue faces.
Sure.
I mean, I think that's a better movie, but I would say a lot of the zombies look better in this than in Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, for me, it was just too little. And that was the other thing, was when they started, and it wasn't something that bugged me, but I was like, this movie doesn't have the budget to have like really awesome deaths. Like, I'm sure, like, oh, I'll tell you what, what my favorite part was? My favorite one. Did you see the moshing zombie? Okay.
Which scene was it? Was it when they take the girl away?
Yeah. When they take the girl in the yellow shirt away, and the guy in the pink shirt like goes to like try and rescue her, and like the zombie that's like, he just does like a mosh pit move, like he runs up to him and just like jumps and like bounces off him, and then to scare away pink guy, and then it's like, okay, it's the funniest thing. It's the funniest move, because it's like, what's he gonna? I'm sure it was just like, just go and. I don't know. I
like flailing around. Totally.
Yeah. Like, it works when there's 20 of them.
Yeah.
Because then it looks cool. But when it's just one of them doing it, it looks so goofy.
The thing that I guess maybe I do have some nostalgia. I mean, I obviously do for this movie, but the thing that's always stuck with me was the guy that they do desecrate the most, or totally. And they bring back. And the way that you just, for somebody who hasn't seen this movie, the way you described it with the marriage scene and all that stuff, all those things do happen, but it's in passing. It's not like there's this like Beetlejuice marriage ceremony. It's like, it's these.
No, they're fucking around. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like almost like it is children messing with dead things. Like it's almost like a drunken frat thing in a way.
Yeah, like
you know,
that was the marriage. I was like, what do they do? Like it was just like it just felt so weird that everybody was cool with it and being like, yeah, that's what we should, let's do this. Like let's pretend you're marrying this dead body we just dug up, and I'm gonna read. It was so weird. Like, and that's the other thing is like other characters. Like I thought for sure, like pink shirt and green shirt were gonna be more grounded. Like they were gonna be like, you know, the regular guys, you know, and a foil to this drama queen of a guy, you know, the main character. And they kind of were, but also they went along with everything he said to do. You know what I mean? Like they carry the body out of the fucking cemetery.
Right.
They like, they stand him up and do the fake marriage thing, and they read out of the book. Like I was like, what? The marriage thing, I was like, what is happening? Like, at what point is anybody gonna tell this guy, like, hey man, maybe I don't want to do that? Like,
well, and that's the part of that, the Orville part of the story that I love so much is that he's the one. I mean, he's the one who ends up killing the wizard, but they've got this guy that they're throwing around and fucking with this whole movie, and then they take him upstairs and they put him on the bed and leave him there basically and forget about him. And that's the scene in Fright Night that you see is when the wizard tries to escape after he throws the girl to the zombies, basically, is to try to escape. And he goes up and he shuts the door thinking he's safe. He turns around, and the way that Orville is sitting there waiting for him, he's like at the edge of this mattress on the floor, like crouched down. Man, it's just the imagery of that and then as he approaches the camera coming towards the dude, and then the rest of the zombies bust through the door and they're just like maniacs. Of all the zombie movies that I've seen in my life, that sequence right there is like at the top of my list for, you know, I think everybody, when they watch a zombie movie, they put themselves in it from a survival standpoint. And like, what would I have done? How am I going to, because that's what zombie movies are, survival movies. And I love that stuff. And when I look at this one, I'm like, dude, that guy's fucked. There's no choice. There's no out. There's no, like, what would I do in that? You would die in that situation. Like, you got Orville waiting for you and you got the rest of them busting through the door. And there's just, I don't know. It's just something that's always stuck with me. So yeah, the dude is just fucked. So there's no way out of there. And that's just one of the unique circumstances within a zombie movie where there is no way out. Like you look at Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, there's like ways to get out of the situations. This one, not. And it's always stuck with me. Just the fact that the dude who kind of caused all this and is the biggest douchebag of the movie gets his just desserts. And and also just presenting that scenario of trapped and just, there's no options for that guy. I don't know. It always stuck with me. Also, the two other aspects of the movie that I really dig is, I don't know why more zombie movies coming out of the ground. Like that's, when did we stop doing that? When did we stop doing that?
It's great. I mean, honestly, like Thriller, the fucking Michael Jackson video. Yeah. It's awesome.
That's one of the probably top 3 best zombie movies ever made. Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome. It's and maybe it's because it's been done a bunch of times. I don't know why they don't do it anymore, but they really don't. Yeah. In the new Dawn, I mean, God, that's almost 20 years old now, but like,
is it really? Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's 2004. So in 2 years, it'll be 20 years old.
That's crazy.
But like, it's, you never see them come out of the ground. They're just
there, right?
Well, because that's the other thing is like they're making new zombies all the time. Oh, so right. A lot of them don't ever go in the ground.
That is something that this movie doesn't do. Like one of the stagehands dies, and he's laying there dead. And when they invade the house, they go and eat him. Nobody gets up and becomes
they don't turn anybody into others that we know of. But you don't see any of them wandering around.
How about the caretaker just tied to a tree.
Totally unnecessary. And like
screwed, man. That sucks.
Man, like, and such a weird choice to do that with, like, because it makes your characters like, it makes them, oh, this guy is, it makes him, it changes him from being like, oh, he's just a douchebag to being like, oh, he's a psycho. Like
he's a murderer, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, he doesn't seem like, it's weird that like he would make that call, and like so many people would be like the two, I mean, I don't think it's presuming much, like, but like the two gay guys, you know, like they just go along with, they just go along with what he says.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these people though, he's given them a job. It seems like they're hired. So he's got them over a barrel in so many ways. My favorite line, dude, is there's not a lot of, I mean, there are a few lines. No, there's good lines in this movie, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Whether it's the wizard or the chick. But my favorite is when he's talking to Green Shirt and he says, sit down, meat. He calls him meat just because he's like, demeaning him that much to the point where he's just like this buff,
it was
worthless actor. I don't know.
It wasn't, who's your travel agent? Count Dracula. Like, fuck with this movie. It's got some good lines, but it's also got some like somebody. That's the other thing. Like, and it's not a thing. I don't know what it is about alliteration. This was a little nuts with the alliteration. Like, I bet on paper the script was like, this is really good. But like, you ever read a book? The dialogue is like, it works when you read it.
Yeah.
But if anybody actually said it, it would never work, you know? And a lot of times they'll adapt movies and try and stay true to the book. And the dialogue just doesn't work when people say it to each other, you know? It's weird.
Theaters,
the Hobbit, like that. Like,
oh yeah, totally.
There's a lot of, you know, shit that works in the Hobbit, but then like when people actually say it to each other on screen, it's like, this is clunky and weird, and no one would ever say this back to each other like this.
Well, Tolkien, however, whatever it was like a superpower to be able to write the way he writes and the amount of shit that he packs in. But for me, the biggest things about this movie is just the tone. There's always something howling in the background. Always throughout the whole movie. I loved, like, you know, when the zombies finally do come out and they're chasing the one stagehand and he's running towards the house and he's all bloodied and he's like, they're coming. All of a sudden, faintly, you can hear screaming in the background, like growling and stuff, the horde coming at the house. And then they arrive. There's just aspects of the movie that, for it literally probably being almost a student film, you know, super low budget, blah, blah, blah. There's aspects of it to me that just came across or worked. And I realized, like, too little, too late. I get that aspect of it. Maybe a little overhyped on my part. But
no, I don't think it was overhyped. Like, I mean,
it does lack the kill quality of a zombie movie. I don't think anybody gets killed on screen. Do they?
Not really, no. Like a lot of people get thrown into all the zombies, and you know,
Green Shirt, we see that's aftermath. The best. That's kind of the best death, and it's the aftermath. Yeah, which is weird because, like, he's like, all right, you guys lure him to the front of the house. I'll run out the back because I'm the fittest and fastest. And it's like he's laying dead right outside the door.
Yeah.
With one zombie on him. So it's like, what happened to you, man? What'd you do? Did you slip? Like, dude, you slipped. Just tell me you slipped. And all right.
Green Shirt was about. So wait, was he dating Yellow Shirt girl?
Yeah, I think so. Or something was going on.
That opening scene is weird too. Like, they're on the boat and they're going like, hey, where are we going? Why are we going here? And he's just like, you know, being a creepy wizard.
Right.
And then he basically is like, hey, what do you think if I nail your girlfriend? And like, they're just like, I don't know. What do you think? Like, it's so weird. Like,
he's a button pusher. Like, I feel like he's doing an experiment. like a social experiment on these guys, you know?
Yeah. I don't think that's crazy.
Yeah. And he's like, how far can I push these people? Because that's his thing, is pushing people. Like, he's constantly, Green Shirt would whoop his ass any day of the week. And for some reason he doesn't. And he's got some reins on him. He's some control over him. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. He's a maniac.
Yeah. I will say it's in the same way that, like, you know, when we were talking about Basket Case and how it was like, this is the kind of movie I want to see at a midnight show in the, you know, like CD New York. This is the kind of thing. Yeah. I wanted on Svengoolie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like at, you know, like this is the kind of thing I want to catch at, you know, 2 a.m, you know, like that.
Totally.
Like this is the kind of movie you're like, what is this? And you wind up watching the whole thing.
I keep going back. Yeah, totally. I keep going back to Fright Night. And it's like, that's exactly what's happening. It's late at night. Brewster's like, whatever the fuck he's doing, or he's with his girlfriend or whatever. I forget what they're doing in the scene.
Is it on Peter Vincent's show?
No.
Or is it just on?
No, it's just on TV, on his little TV that he has. But, you know, and he's not really paying attention to it, not watching it, but it's on. I don't know. That's always stuck with me. And it's just, it's also very like, it's almost like the embodiment, like you said, Halloween Decorations, the movie. It's like the embodiment of a haunted house.
Yeah. Like it's like Groovy Ghoulies, but like for, you know what I mean? It's all the same shit as like Groovy Ghoulies. But but they're dead serious.
Yeah. And it's just got that haunted house quality to it, where some rooms aren't scary. Sometimes it takes a while, you know, a few rooms to get to the scare or whatever. But the tone throughout the entire haunted house is suspense and oh shit, even though you don't really get it until the good stuff until the end. I don't know. That's what I look, you know, when we did our Halloween show of top 10 each, I was going for my favorite, you know, Halloween movies rather than the scariest, because Halloween for me, even though I watch tons of scary, terrifying movies, it's more fun. There's more fun to Halloween for me than the nightmarish stuff. And like, if you saw my brother's list of top 10 movies he watches during Halloween, it's all psychotic, terrifying, you know, Hereditary and shit like that. And that stuff's great. But for me, it's more about the fun aspect. And this definitely checks all those boxes.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know. There's not a lot to this movie. It's very basic. It's very, very simple. It's, you either get into the kitsch of it, I guess, or not. But
I think on multiple views, like if this were on, like if I caught this, I wouldn't turn it off. You know,
what was the other movie we did where you said the same thing? It was like, I forget what it was.
Probably Transylvania 65000.
Oh, it was. Which is one of your favorites now. You've come to love it.
I mean, it's not bad. I was a little hard on it.
Yeah.
You know,
that's hilarious. I don't know. You got anything else on it? No,
I'm good.
All right. Oh, one other thing. This movie has phenomenal posters. If you go online and Google it, and I've been working on collecting all of them, and I'm going to put them on the Patreon just as like a gallery. Really, really cool posters.
It's got one tagline that I was like, it's a pretty weird tagline. Like it's on the one you posted too. And like, I read the tagline before
the Orville one.
Yeah, the Orville one, like "Welcome to Orville's coming out party." It's gonna be a scream. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
But it's not even that. It's like it's gonna be a scream, and it says like yours. It's like what? Jesus, guys! Like,
that's awesome. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's still the best one.
I know. All right, man. Well, we have. What are we doing next? Should we do listener? Or do you want to?
Yeah, no, do the listener,
because we also have to say what we're doing for D. I got the question right here. Okay, so for those who don't know, we're taking questions from Patreon or Instagram, preferably from Patreon. Whatever, those will be the first questions we answer. Friend of the show, Katie, she's just having. This is her week. Yeah,
she got her own little Patreon episode.
Yeah, so. She says, "What's the best movie you watched because of the podcast that you hadn't seen before?" So what movie has this podcast made you watch that is the best
that I hadn't seen before?
I know what mine is.
Off the top of my head,
I know what it is for you.
Probably Fright Night, but I could be wrong. I mean,
did you not seen Fright Night?
I hadn't seen Fright Night yet, but
for me, it's Killer Clowns because that's the one I appreciate the most because I'm still so against the content of it. The fucking, the clowns, the giant shoes running through the forest, chasing me and shit like that. It's just dumb and fucked up. But like since we watched it, I've grown to appreciate that movie more and more and more for all the different reasons we've talked about it. I'm surprised it took me that long. It took my whole life up until this point to get to that, to where I accept it and appreciate it for that. For you, it was Night of the Creeps.
Yeah, Night of the Creeps, which I had seen, but not like, I don't know what was going on. I must have not paid. Yeah, it was Night of the Creeps. Now I think about it. Yeah, for sure.
You know what's weird is, I mean, I would never intentionally watch Idle Hands again. Yeah, but it's just funny how many other movies have moved that one down my shit list. And take.
Oh yeah, when we first did it, you were like, "Oh, this fuck this
it can't
movie.
Get any worse.
It can't get worse," and it got so much worse.
That's hilarious. Anyway, great question, Katie. If you guys want to give us some questions, patreon.com/deathbypodcast. You can support the show. We also have our second bonus mini pod, BoobTube TV, on there. And this week we watched Kolchak the Night Stalker episode 1. The Ripper, I was really excited to watch that. So, and we're doing another one next week, another Kolchak for that. What else? What am I forgetting? It's been too long since what do you got for D?
You got, I was going to say like best at all that stuff, but like,
final questions. I'm going to redo those, but
okay.
I did. Yeah. I already said that line. Sit down, meet.
There you go.
It's awesome. What do you got for D? What are we watching?
We're going to do the 1992 classic first. I think it's his first film.
Hold on. 1992. What could it possibly be?
1992. I want to say it's the debut film of a Oscar-winning director.
Hold on. Oscar-winning director, 1992. Give me one more clue, and then you can tell me.
Okay. It has the, I don't know how you want it. It has the prestigiousness, the award. I don't know what you'd call it, but it is officially like ranked as the bloodiest movie ever made.
1992 bloodiest movie ever made. Holy shit. From an Oscar-winning director.
Yeah, he won an Oscar many years later. He won a couple.
Shit, I don't know. Go for it. What is it?
It is Dead Alive, directed by Peter Jackson. Yeah.
Really? This is regarded as the bloodiest movie ever made?
Yeah.
No shit. Dead Alive.
And as far as the amount of fake blood used.
Okay. Is the VHS cover a girl going like this with her mouth?
Stretching her mouth out.
Stretching her mouth. With
there's like
a
skeleton underneath. Yeah.
All right, cool. I've seen this.
I used to watch it in high school and in junior high. I watched it nonstop. I loved it.
All right. I'm excited to watch it again.
And I haven't probably watched it in 20 years. It's been a long time.
Is there a rat in this, like a claymation rat?
Yeah, there is.
That's awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Dead Alive next week, episode 37. That's all I got. What else you got?
Yeah, I got nothing, man.
All right. If you guys want to find us on social media, our hub is Instagram. What is it? Death by Podcast. Instagram. It's simple because that's what you're listening to. You can also find us on Twitter and interact with us there and try to motivate us to interact with you or post anything at all on there. That would be interesting if you could do that. We have a YouTube channel that actually does have at least some episodes on there. The new episodes get uploaded there automatically. So if you like listening to that on YouTube, it's there. And hopefully we'll get more content going on there as the year progresses. What else do we have? We got a Facebook page that is blank, but We might start putting some stuff on there as well. If you're a social media guy who wants to work for free because you love the podcast, get a hold of us.
Yeah.
You can do our posts for us. That would be awesome. And if you want to help out the show directly, support us directly, patreon.com /Death by Podcast. We put behind the scenes content, pictures of Kevin's boxers collection, the boxer collection that he has.
Yeah.
Our TV show, Adam Watches Star Trek, is on there, and as well as BoobTube TV, which is our mini podcast. So that's all on there. Check it out.
Yeah. We might have I'm telling you, Adam Watches Star Trek might be pretty special next time. I'm telling you. You're gonna be changing your tune about Star Trek.
Oh my goodness. Kevin is hooked me up with a couple episodes that he thinks
I think we'll sell you on the series. Which series? Generation 9? Next generation.
Next generation. Okay.
I wouldn't give you Deep Space Nine. It's
Deep Space Nine.
It's
okay.
advanced.
It's too advanced. All right, folks.
No, I'm not saying it's too advanced. I'm not saying it's too advanced for you. I'm saying that as far as getting you into Star Trek, you got to be into Star Trek first.
Sure. Okay.
Then Deep Space Nine.
It's sweaty. It's sweaty.
It's great. It's
okay.
it's arguably. it's awesome, but
all right.
I don't know that it's a lot of people's first Trek.
It's not my first. I've seen all. The
I know,
movies.
but like
I watched all the old episodes. You're talking about anything with the Crusher in it. It's my first.
Anything post
with the George LaForge, what's his name? George LaForge.
Geordie LaForge.
LaForge.
What? LaForge. Call him LaForge.
Jordan Forging.
LaForge
for Jimmy Brungus. Yeah, so that's something we do. Thank you guys for listening. This has been fun to get back to. I missed it while we're gone, and thanks for waiting for us. I'm your host, Adam. That is your other host, Kevin. It's Miller time. Kevin, take it away. One day you're gonna erase that thing, and it's gonna be like, where did it go? Perfect on the first try, kind of. Not really. Yeah. Nice job. All right, folks. Thanks for being here. We will talk to you next week. Bye.